How you doing? Hope you're having a nice day. Hope your weekend was great. Welcome to today's stream. Today we're going to continue what we were doing yesterday, which is drawing some. What's this? Which is drawing some Ryan Otley's faces, some faces from Invincible, because that's mostly what he worked on. I'm just trying to adjust the screen so that you can see it. Um, Yeah, so we're just going to start, and the next face I'm going to do is simply what's his name? Alan the Alien. I guess that's his name, Alan the Alien. And yeah, the aim is just to understand how he draws expressions. So yeah, hopefully you know that information gets stuck in my head, and I can transfer that knowledge or practice to every other drawing that I do. Hopefully. Hope everyone is having a good and productive day, because that's important. So I'm just going to start with his face. At least this should be easier, um, because he has one eye. So, and his head has a certain shape. So I'm going to try and stick with that. I think I may just make this like a montage of faces, somewhat. Just try and incorporate as many faces as I can. Maybe, maybe not. You never know. But let's see. Another thing I need to learn is uh like face shapes. Oh, hello Irene, how you doing? I hope you're having a nice day. Hope you had a nice day today. Um, how's the week going? How is everything? Thanks for showing up again. I appreciate it. Really appreciate the support, Irene. Were you able to write anything today? Any like have you you started work on what do I call it now? Chapter 4 of the story. How far have you gone? Uh, who is that one-eyed guy? His name is Alan the Alien. That's literally his name, Alan the Alien. That's his name. Uh, I like him because his character is pretty cool actually, and I'm sure the artist that drew him actually had fun because he has one eye, so he doesn't have to draw a lot. And I like how he just captured a lot of expression with the guy's eyes. He said, I'm doing great, bro. What about you? Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. I started doing a client's work today and I just fell asleep. Uh, I worked for 3 hours and then I just passed out. I've still not been able to finish the work. So when I get off stream, I'll just go and complete it. Um, the work this time is quite easy, but I've just been lazying about the work. I'll finish it and submit it uh, very soon. So that's all I've done today, to be honest. I've mostly been sleeping, uh, and so I'll just walk throughout the night. Slept almost throughout the day, to be honest. I don't go out, so all everything I need or I do is just indoors. Oh yes, also I spent about an hour plus working on my manga. I said manga on my comic. Anyways, they're the same thing. Yeah, so I finished a page, and that is like sketching out a page. Probably one of these days I'll just when I start inking the story, I'll just come live and try it and see how it goes. if that's something people would like. It will be boring though, because like making manga is boring, like probably for people that see it. But for me, it's going to be fun because I'm actually working on my story. That will probably be a long stream, a very long stream, because I might spend like 5 hours or so working on a page, depending on how much detail is required. Um, Bro is antisocial. This is that antisocial or social like me. Yeah. Well, I don't go out much because I don't have money. That's mainly the reason. If I had money, I would go places. Plus, I actually don't have a lot of friends. All my friends actually work, so like during the weekdays, it's quite difficult to just go and see them. To just get up and just go and see them. So, I did go out yesterday on Sunday. So after I went from church, I just went to see my friends. We just had a good chat for about like 3 or 4 hours, and then I went to get fruit salad, and I came back home and slept. I slept for like 4 hours. I sleep a lot actually. Slept for like 4 hours, and then I woke up and did some work, and then came on live, and that was pretty much my day. And then I walked for some time after the live, and then went back to sleep. Yeah, and that was my day. Yeah, Alan looks easy to draw. Yes, he does. He does. It's because he has one eye, and when you're drawing eyes, if you don't get the proportions of the eyes right, it's your work can look a bit skewed, because sometimes you could draw one eye higher than the other, but Alan has one eye, so it's just easy to draw. So easy and fun to draw. I was just checking because I was just thinking of maybe doing like a montage of faces in the, but I just figured out I don't have a lot of face references. I mostly just have this as you call him, mosquito-eyed guy, um, Mark. So I might need to get more faces, more characters to just reference and draw. Um, yeah, yeah, I know. I do sleep for, like, my sleep is usually in patches sometimes. I slept for like I'll sleep for, maybe I could sleep for like 4 hours now, and maybe later I would sleep for like 3 hours or 4 hours again. So like this afternoon I slept for like 3 hours this evening, like just before I got on live. So I'm pretty refreshed, and I can go for a while. Like I can walk for a while. So I just have to be smart about how I use my energy. Alright, I'm just going to ink this now. I really started enjoying the inking in Procreate. I can't lie. It's probably because of the inking pen that I use. Mosquito eyed guy. Yeah, I only got like references of him because he's the main character, and like there are a lot of pages of him in different poses. So like if I were to like get like how what's his name, Ryan Ottley draws faces and poses, you need to look at a large variety of what he has done, so that you sort of get a feel for how he works. So that was mostly the idea, but at the end of the day I ended up just copying just one character. um I want to watch that series so badly, but there are so many series I'm watching and books that I'm reading. So yeah, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, but it's always there. So you can just binge it whenever you have time. The good thing about not watching series in like in the process when they make it is that whenever they finish, like you can just binge watch everything at once. Like now, I haven't watched like the Chainsaw Man or like the JJK, and whenever I'm ready to watch the series, I just know that like it's going to be like a binge, so it's going to be like much more fun rather than having to wait for um new episodes every week, something like that. And it's still an ongoing series, and they have a lot of stories to tell. The story is quite voluminous, so I think the writers said they are planning about 8 seasons of the story, 7 or 8 seasons, I think. So still a while to go, so you don't have to necessarily rush. The way I watched it was that I had always known about Invincible, but because it wasn't like the typical Marvel, DC, I just wasn't that into it, and especially because what draws me is usually art, like the art style. I wasn't a fan of the like first books, the first book art style, so I don't know. It was just like hard for me to get into it. But then it's still good art, like it's still really good. The artist is really good, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. That's just it. So then when I then watched the the animated show, because I just said let me check it out. I checked out the animated show and I really liked the story, the direction, the concept, how gritty it was, and then I just said yeah, I can't wait. And I went and I read the entire story. It was really fun. I binged the entire story, the entire comic book. Yeah. By the way, I prepared some ginger shots and it's tasteless like like shit, bro. I can't even take one sip. I drank some cola for to erase the taste from my tongue. Ginger is very good. Ginger and garlic is very good. It has a like we also have like ginger tea here in Nigeria, ginger and garlic as well. But it's it's pretty strong. You have to like dilute it with water sometimes, like hot water, so that like it doesn't taste so like the taste doesn't like hit you like all at once. Um, but you remove the taste with cola. Isn't that like what were you taking ginger for? Like was it like just to feel warm or like you were having a bit like sore throat? Like whenever we have like you have sore throats or like even just a bit of headache, we do take ginger over here. It's like I've forgotten what they call it, but it's medicinal. I forgot what they call it specifically. But it's very helpful. Like if you're feeling a bit ill, you take ginger and garlic, and it just helps you. It just helps you feel relief. And when you're sick, you don't really care about the taste. You just want to get better. So he said very good. Excuse me, ginger. Yeah, ginger is good. Like it's I've forgotten what they classify ginger as. I've forgotten let me check. Let me check. Ginger. Ginger. What do they call it? I'm looking for a word. They say it's an antioxidant, and what else? What else? They say key health benefits of ginger: digestive aid, anti-inflammatory and pain relief, immune system support, heart and health and cholesterol, weight management, and cancer prevention. So yeah, ginger is good. Ginger is good. Take more ginger. I don't take it though, but I heard it's good. Uh, said for some healthy body for some healthy body shit, but it tastes so bad. I can't drink it. I'll stick to my soda, man. I only like ginger in cat. Good one. You only like ginger in cats. Okay, I hear you. I hear you. I mean, I don't take ginger. Like what I like mostly is garlic, but I don't eat it directly. I like it like using it when I'm cooking or something. So like you just add it to my food. Like if I'm making pasta like spaghetti or something like that, and even rice, like normal rice, you just add garlic to the stew, and it just tastes really good. It just makes you feel like you're doing the right thing health wise. Um, Garlic is good in meals. Yes, it does. It does. It tastes really good. Um, when you like it's like when you put the right amount, it just makes the meal feel complete. I'd say it's quite underrated sometimes. Garlic. Oh. I remember when I was in school, there was this. Usually, you have a lot of sweets when you're in school. There was this ginger sweet, they called it ginger candy. I don't know how they do it, but it just tasted like ginger, or it was really like it was really sweet and delicious. And sometimes I'll just buy a whole bunch and just lick it during class. You said you made me yawn too. Yeah, I think that's good. That was quite easy. Even though I didn't get exactly his face, should be a bit wider. His face should be a bit wider. But I didn't. I'll just leave it there. I always find out whenever I study these faces, I always make the faces quite slim, or I make them like too like slender or noodly. Anyways, let me get look for another face and look for another face and draw. Let's see. Let's go for his dad. This is dad, by the way. He said it's really strange that when you see someone yawn, you yawn. Yeah, 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 yeah. Or like, why is that? Human brain is confusing. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know why. Because it's also the same thing when you see, let's say, have you ever tried like a staring competition with someone? Like, when let's say you try to see who is first to blink, and then you guys stare at each other's face over and over again, and then it actually becomes harder to not blink, and then when the person blinks immediately, then you then blink as well. It's very weird, very interesting. And while like maybe like unobserved, you'd see that people don't like sometimes they don't blink a lot, but it's when you want to, you know, you try not blinking that you spend a lot of time, thinking about blinking, thinking about blinking. What do they call them now in science? They call them involuntary um, involuntary actions that the body takes or something like that. Forgotten everything about my biology. About biology, I mean. classifications of living things. Let's see. Let's answer that question. Why do you yawn when another person yawns? Why do you yawn when another person yawns? Why do you yawn when another person yawns? Let's see. You said why is the beard in his bottom parts white? It's because he's getting older. He has lived for a very long time and he has traveled planets, different planets for hundreds of years. And now he's in his, I think like human age wise, he'll probably be like in his 50s or something like that. So yeah, that's why. They said when other person, they said some reasons why people yawn when other people yawn is number one, empathy and social bonding. They say you are most likely to catch a yawn from someone you're emotionally close to, such as friends or family, which acts as a non-verbal social connection. They said brain mechanism. It said you mirror neurons responsible for empathy and motor imitation. Yeah, they activate creating an urge to mirror the behavior of the person. And they said there is like context, while often associated with tiredness or boredom, contagious yawning is primarily a social involuntary reaction, not necessarily a sign of sleepiness. And then lastly, it said speed. It happens almost instantaneously as part of a chameleon effect or automatic imitation, often observed within a few seconds. So I guess we've learned something today. Yawning usually is not just a sign of what do they call it now? Sleepiness or tiredness. Most times it's just because you're around friends and family. You said you're a curious person. It's worthy of praise, bro. I'm aware that you search often. Yeah, I mean, I'm not naturally like a high IQ person, so the way I can like edge it is that the best thing I can do is just to just search it immediately. And since I have internet connection, thank goodness for that, I can just search it. I remember when I was younger, I was watching this show Smallville, and it's an American show. Yeah, so and I didn't. Whenever they talked, I mean these are high schoolers talking for God's sake, and whenever they talk, they always spoke such big English. Like you would hear things like absurd, you hear things like blackmail. Like I didn't know like some basic things like what they meant, and I really liked the show and I wanted to understand like what they were saying. They will say things like disingenuous, some words like that, like some basic English words that you probably know now as an adult. Well, as a child, you probably didn't know what it was. So I always wrote those words down and I would then go to my dictionary because that time, um, I'll just make a joke and say phones weren't invented. So I'll just go to my physical dictionary and just search them out. Um, yeah. But it's mostly about things I like or like things I'm naturally drawn to. I still do that today. Even though I probably know I've heard a word like that or like a certain word, but I probably don't remember the meaning of the word or like confuse confuse those words together. Um, so they just sound weird. Also in music as well. So I listen to rap a lot. Not recently, like it's been a while since I've listened to like music. Well, apart from the one that always plays in the background while I draw. Um, so like whenever I listen to a rap song, these rap artists are usually very intelligent and very articulate. So whenever they speak or like they say like I'm rapping a lyrics and they say something that I don't understand, I just go and like check for the word and it just makes sense. So I just kind of get what the artist, music artist is saying. Oh, look at that. Looks like it's coming out all right. That's another thing I like about how he does his work. You can see how they are like really big um outside lines, ink lines. Like you don't really know these things until you study the artists. And that is one mistake I do make. Like and if you look at them in comparison to like manga artists, they do have smaller, what do they call it now? Their lines are much more thicker, like Western artists. Their lines are much more thicker than manga artists. If you check it out. Uh, man, my mom told me I have exams in 10 days. My school system is a little bit different, so today I got the news. What am I going to do in 10 days? Religion, history, geography, biology, and two English. So you have exams in 10 days. I believe, like even here in like West Africa, I think exams are starting out. There's somebody that watches me. His name is Ransford, and he's in like secondary school too, right? Like high school. So I think he's about to write his own exams too as well. So he was preparing. Well, in 10 days, I don't think that's fair, because ideally before like exams start, they usually tell us like about a month before um you begin. So I don't think that's really fair, to be honest. Like when I was in school, like we knew when we call it WAEC exams. So we already knew when our exams would take place. So we had to like we started preparing, and then like timetable came out a lot earlier. So I think like I think like 2 weeks or so before the exams. So that's like what 14 days. So 14 days, we have 14 days to prepare for the exams. So yeah, but I think 10 days is doable. It's still possible to get ready within 10 days. Uh, he said, and three Turkish, two maths exams. What the hell, bro? I'm a human too. Too much exam. Too much exams. And I will do these exams in 2 days. What? Wait, you're having all these exams in 2 days? Like just 2 days? That's unbelievable. Like how is that okay? Like the way we write our exams is that we could probably have like two subjects in a day. So like we could have English and because we have a subject called government. Um, we have a subject called government. So we could have English and government in a day, and then we could have like biology and like civic education in a day, like something like that. But we don't have like that amount of exams in a single day. So like the whole exam thing could take like 2 weeks. Um like 2 weeks. So like five days each. Five like weekdays each. But like writing the whole exams in one day, that's just terrible, man. That's just terrible. I honestly don't like I don't that's how it's run. I don't think that's good, man. I don't think that's right or correct. Like it's not good for the children's health, mentally. You said, yeah, I have 10 days, but this all the exams will be in 2 days. Trying to not lose my mental health. Wow, I think that's really difficult. If that's how they run it, I think it's a flawed system because you wouldn't really get the best out of the students. But how can you give like students just 2 days to prepare for all the subjects? Because the way I study sometimes is a lot of students are quite lazy. You have to give them opportunity to pass. Because if you are doing all the exams in 2 days, like that's a recipe for disaster for all the students. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. Even when I was in uni, we didn't write like we wrote like they just gave us like space to breathe, and sometimes we could even skip a day and not have an exam in a day because um, we were not offering that subject, so like we would have time to like revise on the things that we studied. I don't know, man. That's not great at all. 2 days, nah, that's that's really bad. That's really bad. That that system is not right, in my own opinion. Students should be given time to be able to revise subjects well enough. And most times there are most times when you are not able to like like read completely or cover all the topics you studied, like the topics you were taught, and you might just need extra time to just be able to do that. And if you don't give them extra time, like people will fail. Is that how it is for everybody that does your like type of study, like type of school situation, homeschool, or is that like, or is it different from people that go to actual schools? You said, man, my battery is dying. Let me change the phone. What sort of phone are you using that you have to change battery? I say change battery. Isn't there a way to like plug the phone and like the battery will be charging and you use it at the same time? Like this pad now, like it's connected, like it's charging and I'm using it at the same time. Or what sort of phone do you use? Yeah, I really like this. His style is just so simple and it's just nice to draw. I don't have to be concentrating 100%. I remember when I was doing like Boichi study, like my brain was just vibrating, like was just overclocking. I don't think I got the face correctly, but I still like it. I still like it, I really like it. Now I'm just going to put this here like this. It can be better. Let me see if we can expand it to make it look different. No? No. Guess not. Let me ink this. Oh, oh my. Now look at that. Uh, get on the hair now. Like the guy's art is just, he just makes it so simple. Uh, Screw it. My brother's phone doesn't even have a channel. Oh, sorry about that. I was asking, like what sort of phone do you use? That you know, do you need to like that you need to like charge it before you like my phone? Like I can charge it and use it at the same time. Like the same thing with this iPad. Like it's plugged on, and I'm charging and I'm using it at the same time. Or do you like have to charge like maybe outside your room or something like that? Mhm. Yo, I could get behind this style, man. I need to go back to studying my David Finch and Jim Lee because if I keep studying this guy's art, I might be pulled into it. Um, okay. Oh, okay. I do get what you mean. So you have to like leave it to charge before you then use it. I get what you mean. There was a time when like this is probably showing how much bookness I've experienced in life. But there was a time when I was like the phone I was using, I couldn't charge it with a charger. I had to use what they call a desktop charger. So this is my phone. This would be my phone. Yeah. And I'll have to like remove the battery of the phone, which is around this size, and place the battery on top of like what they call a desktop charger. So this would be my battery here, and then this will be the desktop charger, and then it will be charging my battery. Like so, I'll plug it. There's the side view of it. So this is the desktop charger, and then this will be my battery, like this. The battery will be receiving charge, like this, plugged to a switch. So, and that's how I was charging my phone. So I couldn't use my phone for a while, like until I, remove the battery. So I had to buy two batteries for my phone, and so that as one battery is charging, the other one I can use it to work or do whatever I wanted to do. He said, I'll watch you for a few minutes and go, bro. Sorry, I really have a little battery. Yeah, sorry about that. I understand. It's chill. I'm just looking at this and I'm seeing like I probably left the eye, made the eye a little too small, you know, now that I think about it. Explaining a topic with some drawings is cooler than I expected. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. That's why I usually say, in as much as like you're studying, doing the traditional um, fundamental studies, it's much much more fun. And when you are drawing from like real, when you are doing master studies, they call them master studies. Um, yeah, it's just nice. Like when you look at an amazing drawing and you just copy it, and you're actually seeing a lot of the things that you've been practicing. You're seeing a lot of them in like being applied. Really nice. Uh, by the way, for me, your best drawing is still Scream, bro. I mean it. You should draw other characters later. Really. Yeah, like I mean, I am like technically I am drawing another character, but I do get what you mean. Um, maybe if someone has like the thing is, I'm more interested in like people's characters, so I'm willing to like draw someone's character. If someone has like a character design or something, and just draw their character live. Maybe like a portrait of their character or something. Usually, like all these popular characters like Batman, as much as I love those stories, it's quite hard for me to draw those characters um, because they're already established. I like people drawing their own characters. I like seeing people's original characters. Um, it's not a snobbish thing. It's just I don't know. It's just how I am. But like I just like Invincible, so I guess at the end of the day, just draw what you like. You said I should I should draw my OC. I should draw my OC. I should draw my OC later. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I will. I will probably in the next stream. To be honest, in the next stream, definitely. Uh, yeah, it's just like someone asked, wanted to see some like invincible faces, and I couldn't do it that day, so I'm just doing it now. I'll definitely try that tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll try and do some Jason Fabok studies. Um, he's an artist that is currently working on a comic book called what's the name of this comic book? I've forgotten the name of the comic book, but he's with a company that he co-founded called Ghost Machine. Let me show you the artist. Um, Jason. Is it Fabok or Fabok? I don't really know. Yo, what's wrong with the internet? Oh, it went to the site. I just wanted the name. But anyways, this is Jason Facebook, the project he's working on, and these are some of his artworks. So I'll probably download one or two of them and like use them and study. Let me show you his he's actually an Eisner award winning artist. Yeah, the name of the book is Rook. Where's his face? Yeah, this is the artist here, right here. Man, mosquito guy. Mosquito guy. Big cartel. Oh my god. What are you talking about? Are you talking about okay, were you talking about the site? Maybe that's the I don't really know anything about that. Maybe that's like the site he used to create the maybe they are like what do they call these guys? You know how they have like hosting and all these like website development platforms. So maybe like Big Cartel is the name of like a platform like that that offer website design services or something like that. Well, yeah, that's the next artist I'll try and look at. I'm really happy that he's currently working on like his own like project. So I'm really happy about that. Um, because a lot of these characters just these guys they just make do popular do drawings of like popular characters based on projects. So you can't really get a lot of um options because they're always drawing like Batman, and maybe you may need to see something else. Know what I mean? The web the website smells like Brazilian cartels. It's just a fun name they just thought of. Just a fun name. That looks nice, man. Look at how he just made that transition of the white beard with just a few strokes. Yeah, that looks alright. The this pen is actually cool. Sometimes it takes a while before you can appreciate the pen that you're using to draw. You can see how much thicker his lines are. That's why it's good to like study different mediums, not mediums, like different styles, so that you can sort of spot these differences and just know what you prefer. Um, yo, let me ask you something, bro. I really love Killer series. I did researches about Killer's life, like Ted Bundy, Ed Gein, and Joanne Gacy, blah blah blah. You like movies about killers? It's exciting. Yeah, I do like some. What do you call it? There's a series called Blackbird. I don't don't know if you've checked it out. It's really good. Like the story, the acting, the like the main villain of the story is the guy killed the role not to be, you know, the guy, like he's a great actor. I can't lie. Let me show you the TV series. I don't know the series you're talking about particularly. Let me see. Killer series. Let me check it out first. Let me check Killer series. Oh, do you mean like series about like um yeah, killers, right? That's what you mean. Yeah, I get what you mean. The ones I like are Dexter. Dexter is one of my favorites. I like Dexter a lot. I like Dharma. I watched this one, Dharma. This was so good. I don't know if you can see it. This one, this Dharma was so good. Like I really liked Dharma. And then Dexter, I liked Dexter. You was okay. I watched you. It was okay, but it was just This one is one of my favorites, Mind Hunter. I liked this one so much. Like I don't know why they didn't continue the series. Like this Mind Hunter. This one was really good. I liked which other one have I watched? I haven't watched a lot, to be fair. I've seen like people have been hyping this one, like a Killer Paradox. So I don't know a lot about it. I haven't watched it, but I heard that, people have been hyping it up. I haven't checked it out. Um, but I would recommend this one. I like this Mind Hunter. It's a slow burn though. It's a slow burn, but it's a really good series. And then there was this one that what's his name? Matthew McConaughey acted. I really liked that one too. I've forgotten the name of the series though. Let me see. The one I was talking about is Blackbird. They didn't put it here. Let me check it. I think it's Blackbird. Yeah, it's Blackbird. This is the series. Like it's so good. Like it's so good. Like I really like this one. Um, I haven't watched Mindhunter. Yeah, you should check it out. You really like it. It's slow burn, but like it's so good, man. It's so good. Like these guys, they do spend a lot of time researching these stories. I can't lie. But this one, Blackbird, is also really good, and that Dharma story. And they are so creepy, man. I can't lie. The stories are very creepy. Like this Dharma story, this actor, oh my god, he creeped me out, man, in the show. In the show, it was so creepy. It was so creepy. My goodness. Yeah, but I don't know my favorite, man. I do like a lot of them. I do like all of them. Let me see the. Let me just check these actors. Matthew. It's quite popular. Yeah, True Detective, that's the name. True Detective. Yeah, this is it. This is what I was talking about. True Detective. This is a really good this is a really good show. This is a really good show. I really like it. It's like an anthology series. There are multiple series in it, but like in one of the stories, um, this Matthew McConaughey, he acted with this Woody Harrelson. Really good story, man. Really good story. Really like it. In fact, his character in the show is like one of my favorite characters in fiction. Even though I don't remember his name, but I really like his character. Let me see his name. Rustin Cole. Yeah, Rustin Cole. I really like Rustin Cole. Yeah, nice shows. Yeah, I do like them. I do like them. When they hit, they really do hit well. But yeah. Yeah, I watched Dharma. I really liked it. Yeah, it's good. Dharma was really good. The actor was so good. I didn't know that guy had that type of range, but I guess if you are being paid professionally, um, you do have a lot of range as an actor. Like that was probably his best performance I've seen. And the only show that I've seen him in, like the only movie I've seen him in was like X-Men, and he was like a big goofy there. Like he played Quicksilver, character Quicksilver, and it was quite goofy there. I didn't know, like, you see an actor in a show, and then you then see them in something else, and you're like, yo, I didn't know that you had this in you. So yeah, the actor deserved an award for that series, like, in my opinion. Did he get any award? Let me check. Did he get any award? I don't think he did. Like, it's 41% on Rotten Tomatoes. How? How is it 41%? The actor's name is Evan Peters. Uh, Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Support Character in a Limited or Anthology Series or Movie. Satellite Award for Actor in a Supporting Role. Yo, he didn't get any award for that show. That's just, oh, I won't say terrible, but like, Evan Peters also played in American Horror Story. I've been hearing about American Horror Story ever since I was like a kid. Like, I think that show has been going on for like 20 years now. Like, I don't know anything about it. I always wanted to get it, but I don't know anything about it. Is American Horror Story good? I didn't know he played in American Horror Story. Yeah, I think that's it for this phase. Let's go get to another phase. Sketching. All right, which phase do I do next? Let's run this one. What's the name of this character again? It's a beast character. I don't remember the name. Oh, let me draw. What's this lady's name again? Atom Eve. All right, let's do it. Uh, you said, man, you haven't seen my Ed Gen comment again. I wrote it 3 times. Ed Gen comment. I didn't see any Ed Gen comment, to be honest. Maybe it's YouTube. I didn't see it. This is the only comment I've seen. The last comment I saw was the one about Ivan Peters, uh, where he told me he played like American Horror Story. My Sheila, my mosquito guy. I've always heard that expression, my Sheila, ever since I was a kid. I don't know what that expression means. All right, let's. You said Ed. Let me say. You said Ed Gaines' series was disturbing. It's not something that everybody can watch. Let me check it out. I don't know the series you're talking about. That sounds like a. It sounded like a German word. Oh, it's this guy that acted it was an American. Oh, all right. I get what you mean. I get what you mean. He's wait, wait, wait. Oh, there's like a movie on it. Monster, the Ed Gein story. When was this? When was this? It has 3 seasons and it was out in 2025. Yeah, I remember this guy. I know this guy. What's his name? What's the name of this actor? I forgot the name of this actor. Well, he acted in as Arthur, as King Arthur in one movie like that. I really like the guy. Glad is getting a show. You said you haven't seen anything, bro. Nothing. Yeah, my mind is I don't have like experience with all these really horror elements like that. I think I'm drawing her face too long again. Let me just do it like this. Or not. Probably like this. Trying to get the measurements correctly so that I wouldn't make her look ugly. Last thing you want is to be drawing an ugly woman. Nobody wants that. Nobody. Alright, let's see. So her eyes are like here. Bro, my battery's level is 2%. Wow. Good night. Good luck for your drawing. Yeah, thank you so much. And good luck in your exams as well. Good luck in your exams. Read hard. How do they say it in Korean? Whiting. Whiting. Uh, all right, the mouth. Setting our eyes. Uh, all right, I was looking all right. It's good to see like simple looking, really stylized art like this sometimes because it just helps you calm down. That everything doesn't need to be perfect when you're drawing. Everything doesn't need to be perfect. Mhm. Right, so we're going to put our eyelids. like this. uh, Bigger eyes for maximum cuteness, and thicker lashes as well. And then the upper eyelid, and then the eyebrow. I think I made it too wide. Maybe she doesn't look as furious as she does in the reference. Let me let me make this. All right, and then right, and you can see, yeah, that's looking all right. Let's add the hair. Brow line, and then the ear. Ha, is that like the Image Comics logo as her earring? That's quite cool. That should be her hairline. Yeah, this is looking good so far. Collar, triceps, neck, of course. And then other hand. Yeah, let's see. ideally it should start from here, so her hair doesn't look long. There's this Ariana Grande images that I saw where her head, like when turned to the side, just looked extremely long. And I think it was because she was wearing a wig, I think, I don't know, on top of her full natural hair. So it just looked weird, to be honest. Hope I'm not butchering this hair. You know what? I don't like how curved that is. I'm just going to do it like this. I think I made the hair too long. Mm, I don't want to do too much hair because I want to leave space to draw another character. Let me flip this. It's not, it's looking a bit, you know what? It should be longer. It should. Now that I'm looking at it, it's, let me fix that here. That looks, that looks a bit more, a bit better. Hello, professional noob, the pro. How you doing, man? Nice to see you again. Hope you're having a nice day, and hope school was good. Um, Last time you said you went for practice. How is practice going, man? Hope it's been uh, good. Hope it's been the right amount of intense. Any scouts yet? Has any scouts come to your schools of recently? Uh, it went well. Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Happy about that. I'm just doing like practice drawing of this artist called Ryan Ottley. I don't know if you know about Invincible. Yeah, so I like the artist art style, so I'm just like copying it so that I can, improve. Just like a bit of light practice. No, but it's fine because I don't really see it as a career. Oh, you're just doing it for fun. Yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. I also played I played football, what you guys call soccer. I played football when I was young too. It was the major sports. I played football, I played badminton, I played what else? Table tennis. I was average at all of them. Um, yeah, but I had fun. So play as much sports as you can, man. Um, and have as much fun as you can with your friends. Because when you become older like me, it's going to be difficult to be able to create time for those kind of activities. So I just have memories of them because I did do them. I did have fun. Um, but I was also like a decent student, like a dullard or anything. I don't watch Invincible, but my friends love that show. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's just a cool show, and the comics is really good as well. Uh, it's just fun, and I really like the art style. The art really sells it. So yeah. So I've been like following the artist more recently. So I'm just picking one or two things from his art style. I'm trying to add it to my own. Sort of what I'm doing. So I'm just gathering all these artists and just practicing with their work. That's cool. Yeah, thank you. Do you watch TV shows? What sort of TV shows do you watch then? Rick and Morty, is that your thing? Uh, what other shows are there these days? I'll be gone for a second to see if my friend wants to join the stream. Thank you so much. Thanks, man. I appreciate. Thank you. All right, just filling up her eye. Hmm. I don't think I did this iris justice. Right, her eyes. It has no. I guess it's glowing or something. Mm, I think I'll leave this like this. Then earrings. I'm back now. My friend is busy, but he now knows about you. Thanks, man. I appreciate the free advertising and marketing. Thank you for that. Thank you. Hopefully, I can repay with good content. All right. So, have you thought about, because you talked about programming, right? Uh, I mean, games, programming games. Have you thought about like starting your own like channel or something like that? Uh, where you just, talk about, you don't necessarily need to talk about programming, just talk about things that interest you. You're very young, so I believe you have a lot of fans and followers that will be interested as well. You've considered it. That's good. It's good that you're thinking in that direction. Don't be like me that spent years thinking about it before I actually did something with it. Um, you could just start talking about like if you have like a good phone, you could just start talking about things you just like and just post. You definitely find people that are in sync with it. Plus, you can get extra income. I personally haven't monetized, so I don't think I'm like in the right position to talk about it. But I believe there are lots of people that are making good living from it. Plus, it's fun. And it's something you always look back to like when you're young. Like now I'm quite old now, right? And I wish that I had started like YouTube earlier, even though I did have a lot of like limitations. Like we do have a lot of problems over here. So like starting something like YouTube, it's quite difficult. We have electrical issues, like power issues. We have network issues, like getting internet connection, things like that. But I still wish I had started a long time ago, to be honest. Yeah, even if it's not something you stick with at the end of the day. When you start programming for, what name of these guys? What's the name of these guys? The guys that do League of Legends. I've forgotten the name of their company. On the bright side, you've already started. If you didn't start now, you'll be wishing the same thing later. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Um, they said the best time to grow with three was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So, yeah, that's smart indeed. That's smart. It's just like an acknowledgement of like mistakes and old fuck ups. Um, and then, looking on the bright side towards growth and improvement. It's not the end of the world if you make a mistake. I don't like the direction that went. All right, I think it's looking okay. He said, "Is that iPad designed specifically for drawing, or do you use it for other things as well?" You can do a lot of things with it. It's iPad Pro, so I mostly use it for drawing and work. It's basically for work in general. Like you can type on it, you could like do your projects on it. Um, I mostly just use it to draw. You can edit videos with it as well, and you can type on it. Like I type with it. Like see, these are projects I just type on it, and you could edit videos. I do edit my videos on it. Um, you see, I have KineMaster, I have VN Note, I have iMovie, and things like that. And I also like I work on like other softwares as well. Mostly just what they call it, Clip Studio Paint for making comics. So That's what I mostly do with it. You can also do, like, if you're into music production, you can also do music production on it. Like, it's a very powerful device, um, and it's very convenient because you can sort of take it everywhere or anywhere. So yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it is. It is. You could even record like audio, things like that, edit it. It's really good, very handy. Um, very handy. Any version you get is going to be very useful. Um, like these days, and I also like the display. The display is extremely accurate. Like, I don't have to be guessing like the whether the color I'm using is the right um color, or like the right color selection that I want. I just have to just simply simply color, right? Like with other devices or like systems or laptops, in terms of like if you're using like what do they call them? I've forgotten these other versions of phones of systems that are not like Dell, for instance. Like a Dell system, or like Lenovo, something like that. The the display may not be extremely accurate, but the display on Mac devices are really accurate. So that's really helpful. And like if you're a photographer, you can also use it as well. Photographers can use it as well. Um, and I'm virtually done with this face. It's just to add this hair. I'm so glad his hair isn't complicated, because hair can be something that takes a lot of time to get through. Yeah, I think I got that right. Just erase that a bit. Um, Hello Adam, how you doing? It's been a long time. Hope you're having a nice day, man. How are things going? Um, you having any uh what were you having that day that you were eating? You said you were having fries. Was it fries? Are you having any fries today? Bro, I saw your comic. I didn't know you like horror. I'm excited for it. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, I like horror. I like horror. Although I don't know a lot about it. Like in terms of, I haven't read a lot of materials, a lot of horror materials, but it's something I'm trying to work at as well. Um, Thank you for checking it out, man. I really appreciate. Uh, you said it's it's horror. That's neat. Thank you. It's will I say it's completely horror? It's just like normal superheroes. Superhero. Superhero, you can say. Uh, Story, and it has some, yeah, a little bit of horror elements, because there are characters in the world that can transform, or that undergo like a transformation, like to get powers, and kind of like inspired by like Inhumans a bit. So like that process can be quite brutal. I made mine a bit more brutal than like the Inhumans, because the Inhumans in Marvel, they are just quite chill. I really want like having powers in my world to have like consequences, like not just on the people with their abilities, but like people around them. Sort of like an undesirable trait. So yeah. Uh, can you tell me a little about the story? What makes the zombies different? All right, so the story is basically about this guy. He he's like a brilliant geneticist, right? The usual brilliant character came from poor background. That's pretty relatable because virtually everyone in Nigeria is poor. Well, not everyone, but like a large majority of people are poor. So he then he just got like he was able to get access to work in a big organization right after school. The organization is like a shield organization for Marvel. It's like shield for Marvel, but basically it's for like West Africa and like Africa in general. So you know how we have like the UN, and then we have like ECOWAS. uh, ECOWAS is like for West African countries, and then we have African Union. So it's like a sub organization, just like Shield is like a sub organization um like the UN, the United Nations, but globally. So, but like the organization is called Century, right? I mean Century. It's called Century. Um, so it's like an organization that guards like African like security and things like that. So he got admitted to like be able to work in their science department, where they had a project. Uh, they had a project called the Cure Factor Project, and they just like their goal basically is to like cure illnesses, because well, Africa in general is a country that is a blessed continent, but it's also like in a lot of places they have like health issues. Healthcare is not easily accessible and things like that. So their goal was just to like create a like single cure and make it like affordable, that kind of thing, and also to like develop something that their agents, like when they go on, they can easily carry and just help with their health. Just like R&D departments in all these big organizations, where their job is just basically to design things that help the agents that work with them. So that was sort of like what he was doing. And then eventually it leaked out and someone reverse engineered what he created, which was supposed to help people and help them with illnesses. And in this case, it just caused people to turn into like zombies, um like just deteriorate, which I called the death factor. So it's called, so there's the life factor and then the death factor. And then obviously subsequently there will be other additions, or like other, I call them, what did I call them, so I call them um, I call them the factors. I think that's what I call them. I've forgotten. So we could have life factor, and then there is like death factor, I think, which was the reverse engineered uh, drug or serum, however you want to take it. And yeah, and then there's an organization called Retribution. Retribution are sort of like, would I call them the Hydra of the story? Retribution, and it's headed by a guy called No One. And he's sort of like one of the main villains in the story. And there are other villains in the story that would come up, but I'm working on it with my friend, and that's just the main gist. And Odogu's, his name is Odogu. His main goal is to um, like is to get rid of retribution and bring them to justice. but he's not doing it in the Batman superhero way. He's doing it in the like bloody way, and anybody that stands in his way is going to chop their heads off with his blade. So that's the idea of the story, basically. So the powers at play are like basically organizations. So there's an organization called Sentry, and then there's an organization called Retribution, and then there's an organization called Generation Isle. No, Marksman Generation. I mean, Marksman Generation (MMG), but their residence is like the Generation Isle. It's an island. It's like a location, right? So these are like the three major organizations that are, you know, that our main character is in, like not in, but like battling with. And then there's like African governments and things like that. You said I really like that the story revolves around your perspective as an African. I know we have Blade and Black Panther, but I want more African characters. And your style and story is a cool way. Yeah, I am trying. I'm not working on it alone, like I said. But yeah, that's the idea. So my characters have like the traditional like African names, and like how would I put it now? They speak in like because every we have a lot of languages in Africa, and like in Nigeria alone, there's about 200 languages, probably more. I don't know the exact number, but it's a lot. So and then we have like we our lingua franca is English, but then we have what they call pidgin English that we speak in. So I try to incorporate that into the story because the way I talk now is not like on stream. That's not exactly how I talk with like my fellow Nigerians. I speak English with them, but I speak pidgin English and things like that. So I sort of try to add that into the story, but then I make it in a way that anybody can sort of understand what's going on in the story. That's the idea. Um, he said to show some of Africa's problems with an interesting twist. Yes, exactly. Like the organization Retribution, the reason why it's called Retribution is kind of like their idea is sort of like they are representing the people who have sort of like been done bad by the government, and they are basically, you know, in a weird way, trying to get rid of like the sort of government that we have in the country. But they are doing it in a way that is not necessarily right because a lot of people are being brought to being caught in harm's way. So yeah, that's just it. That's the idea. I have a lot of stories in my head to do, and I've like began working on them in the background. But like these stories, I have to focus on one really, and then do as much as possible so that I release enough issues so that like the story becomes solid. Because just 6 issues isn't enough. I need to do more. So yeah, it's just a discipline problem, to be honest. Just a discipline problem. Um, yeah, that's the idea of the story. Um, it's just a generic story. It's just that it's African. That's just the only thing. Just inspired from traditional comic book stories like from Marvel and DC, all put together. So yeah, thanks for reading, man. I appreciate it. Um, how do I think my community would consider the story? Um, well, I think they'll like it because like in Africa here, like in Nigeria, there's a lot of comic books that are coming out. A lot of people are doing comic books. It's just the issue is just like having an audience, and like in Nigeria, for instance, there are a lot of um like the generation, this current generation, they are getting into things like anime and manga and stuff like that, and there are people that are creating comics. But the thing is that they are not getting enough eyes to see it. Um, so it's just left for like people to then sort of work on marketing basically, which would involve doing a lot of videos and things like that. Um, but my community, I believe they would like it. I believe it's something that it's up and coming. It's something that is new and fresh. There's a lot of African stories to explore. Like you see things like Naruto and like from Japan and like Asia. All these stories, a lot of them are inspired by like from Japanese folklore and like mythology, like even the powers and things like that. So Africa has a lot of things like that are just as similar. It's an industry I believe can be as big as like Japanese manga. It's just that it's going to take a lot of time, uh, because art isn't really appreciated here. Because when you stay in a country that everybody is struggling to eat, like food is an issue, like having like normal amenities is a problem. No one is really thinking about reading. Nobody's really thinking about literary materials. um, Nobody's really being creative. Everybody's just trying to find what to eat and how to survive. So creativity is not something that will be appreciated as much here and at the moment. So it's people from outside. That's why there's a lot of outside investors to guys like Comic Republic and things like that. So eventually people will, but everybody in my country, a lot of people, majority, the people that actually consume your work, they are still struggling to survive. So it's quite difficult. um yeah, but it's still like a business that will grow. It's still an industry that is growing. Still very infantile at the moment, but it will grow. You said how that's good to hear, man. I'll keep a lookout for any updates. Thanks, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate. True, true. Art is a luxury when you don't have your necessities met. Exactly, that's true. Like no one is looking for like character design or to do animated stories and concepts when they haven't eaten. Like everyone is just looking for survival, right? And then the people who actually want to get into it don't really get into it early. They get into it quite late, because they probably don't know about it and it's not something that is around them. So when they discover it, it's quite a bit late in their life. And by then most of them have families and they can't just go get into it. I mean, they can, but you know they just don't. There's no like opportunities for it. There are not a lot of like animation studios, all the animation studios, because I did spend a lot of time in like Lagos, which is like the business hub of the country. I spent a lot of time there, and like everything is still like just starting out. There's just a lot of startups there, but nothing is really taking off. Because I went there to work and like to collaborate with people. But like a lot of them are just they are just looking for people that can help out, not necessarily like collaborate in in the sense that you would think. So it's still a growing industry. I really believe in it. There's a lot of potential. It's just left for us to actually work extra hard to get the stories out there. That's just it. But it will happen. It will happen. Um, the world is like improving and developing every day, and it has been more accommodating. Right, I think this might be the last phase I do, but I can't lie. I really had really having a lot of fun with drawing the faces that he's drawing, because he just makes them look so easy to draw. Forgotten this character's name. Is it like Monster Girl or something? She has this Hulk-like ability to transform into a monster. But I like the added effect that anytime she transforms into this really powerful monster, magical monster, she uh she ages, she becomes younger with each transformation. That's just really interesting and like a nice twist. That looks all right. Let me get her here. Uh, Professional noob, you said I'm playing Minecraft and having this in the background is neat because everyone in a while. Wait, I don't. Let me read that again. You said I'm playing Minecraft right now and having this in the background is neat because every once in a while I'll look over and see a lot of progress on your drawings. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Uh, I plan on doing like a comic book, like a proper stream where I work on a comic book, like on my latest issue. So I'll probably do something like that. Maybe like not do like the back to back pages, like for spoilers or something like that, like to avoid spoilers. But I'll probably just do like a single page, a single random page, something like that, and then like so to just show like my process. Maybe do long streams like that as well, and like talk about my process while I work. Um, yeah, I'd like to see it. Yeah, yeah, I will. I'll definitely do that. I'll definitely do that. Um, because the way I work currently is that because that's the usually what I do is I work on like Clip Studio Paint, but there's this pen I'm currently using, like this one that I'm currently using to sketch. I really like this pen so much, and I like the way I sketch with it. It's been really I've been really enjoying it like for my studies. So like, and I can't for whatever reason I can't get it into Clip Studio Paint. Maybe I'm just dumb or whatever. But I'm like, so I then decided to do like my storyboard and storyboarding on like Clip Studio on Procreate here, and then I'll take the storyboarding to uh, Clip Studio Paint and do the detailing there. I think that's what I'll do, and then I'll see how it goes. Those streams are going to be very long, so but I'm more confident in my art than I was a few months ago. So definitely I'll be faster. I'll be much more faster than I was before. Uh, you said, Adam, you said, would be cool to see how you work with panels. Those zombies look anatomically accurate too. Yeah, I use a lot of references, man. I use a lot of references. So I have an original idea, and then I use a lot of references and like just normal Google search for like the environment you want to use. You know, you have the initial ideation with your sketches, and then you use references to just sort of let me show you. You just get references like I use a lot of David Finch because David Finch has drawn a lot of zombies. So I got that, and then I copied some of the zombies there and applied it to what I wanted to do for that splash page. That page took quite a while to do. I can't lie. It took quite a while to do. And my problem is that I do like splash pages, And since I'm not using like traditional materials, I'm always enthusiastic to do something like that, to just get like a splash page in, to just really show off how much detail I could put in a work, that kind of thing. So yeah, I like splash pages. And most times it's just because I'm just incompetent. I can't like properly tell a story sequentially. So I just like do a really cool big drawing of a scene, to just distract everyone that's from the story. That is one of the reasons, to be honest. But like comic art is something I'm trying to study every day as well. Most times, or not every day, because most times I'm not able to do the studies, but I oh my, I'm able to, because sometimes I have to work on my art fundamentals at the same time. Like something like perspective, for instance. I'm very terrible at doing perspective, so I have to like work on that as well. And the way I study is that like I just have to look at a lot of books and just copy what is there. So that takes its own time as well. Because if I don't do those studies, I won't like improve the art. The art won't improve. The art won't get better. And the goal is to, improve at telling stories with your art. And the better your art, the better you're able to tell the story. Yeah. All right. Let me ink this guy. All right. That's what's going on. This is the reality. As when you're working traditionally, you have to be a little bit more accurate with your drawing, or like they call it the penciling of the work, um, so that you don't end up messing up the entire piece. All right, that's looking all right, I think. Mm, won't detail too much. Just try and keep it simple. I think I did that too early. Well, this is turning out okay. I'll add another face here and another here and maybe another here and there. Maybe we'll make it like a montage or something. That won't be that won't be bad. All right, let's see. Let's face itself. Yeah, I think I messed the eye up a bit. Yeah, that's a lot better. One, two. Right, that's looking clean. So line work is really clean. Like if there's one thing I would like when I'm able to like be financially stable, one thing I would get is that I would look for all these artists artworks and just get their black and whites, like their entire comic book. I'll try and get like the artist edition, like black and whites, like the ones without color. I would really like that uh, because I like seeing the works in black and white. You learn a lot from just the black and white, like without the colors. Like if you're an artist, you learn a lot from just that without necessarily the colors. You can like the colors, of course. Like if you want to learn coloring, there's that you can do that. But I really like the black and white. And I like to see a lot of that. Um, that's one thing about manga. Like looking at manga, it has made me not feel so insecure about my art because a lot of the times when you see something that is colored, I'm not saying like it just hides a lot of information, a lot of like original information that you would get um, if it was just black and white. So you can, it's not like to say that manga artists aren't that good or they aren't good. Like that's why I feel better about my art. It's just that when you see how an artist works or how he takes liberties in some areas, it just makes you feel, oh, this artist did exactly what I was thinking, but because I was feeling so scared or like so insecure about my art, I just didn't do it. And this artist did it and he's currently doing a published work. So once you see that over and over and over again, like in black and white, it makes you not be so precious about your art. It just makes you want to create and create over and over again. Adam, you said I really want to get into painting, but I also prefer black and white. So I need to learn values first and get better at drawing. Yeah, values is very crucial, like for like painting portraits. Um, like so you're saying you prefer black and white paintings? Is that what you're saying? Um, because that was really cool as well. I like paintings. I've liked portrait paintings for a while, and I just couldn't get it because I didn't learn the proper way. I was just drawing from like instincts, like how you just put like a photo in front of you and just start drawing without any like foundational knowledge. That's how I was doing portraits for a very long time, but then I got tired of how I drew it, and then I decided to uh, just follow an artist I really like. I just did drawings, but I had the artist's artwork right next to mine. So I was looking at both the reference and the artist art style, and that was how I was able to draw, get better at like portraits. Now let me show you some of my portraits. I don't know if I've shown you before. Let me show you some of my portraits. I did portraits for a year. I did it regularly. I tried to do one every 2 days, like to complete one portrait painting every 2 days. And that was how I got better. I did portraits like for a very long time. But I eventually got better at it, and then I got bored because I wasn't getting paid from it to just for fun. And then clients came in terms of work, and then I was doing like work for clients and things like that. But I'll show you my the portrait paintings I did. He said, yeah, I like the gradients of black and white. Color is another beast, and it adds depth and life. But to make black and white stand out is a talent as well. Exactly, exactly. That's why you need to get good at values. That is why, like, as an artist, there's like a pathway you can follow depending on what you want to do. If it's like environment art, if it's concept art, if it's character design, even if it's something like movie posters that you want to do as an artist, like movie poster illustrations, things like that, they all have a pathway. And most times your pathway as a landscape artist, or like, it's going to be a lot different from that of a comic book artist like myself, because I have to learn anatomy first of all, and then I have to learn perspective. No, I'll have to learn anatomy, then I have to learn values, then I have to learn perspective. Because all this like black and white art, all this hatching and cross hatching, is just a different way of adding values to your characters. And you have to learn how that works, so that your character can look solid and 3D with just simple blacks and whites, um, like this. So yeah, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn. Like even like composition, as a comic book artist, you need to learn composition. Very important. That's how you create good comic book panels. um but I'm not perfect at it, but the best way to learn is to, I like to learn on the job. So, you know I would learn, like, I'm learning composition and like, um what do you call it, values. I learned it when I was doing like comic books, and when I finally started adding proper hatching lines to my drawings. So yeah, very important. You know what, I'm almost done with this. Once I'm done with this, I'll show you the black and white, like I said, black and white. The portrait drawings I did, and then I think that'll be all for today. I'll come back tomorrow, and tomorrow I'll do like a Greg Capullo artwork study. um I haven't done Greg Capullo, uh, and he had been one of my favorites for a while. So, and once you take an artist work that you like their art style, or like group of artists that you like their art style, and then you copy it over and over and over again, right? You sort of begin to think like them, and you sort of like make decisions that they make subconsciously when you draw, and then you kind of have the habits that they have as artists that actually make them really good. So, that's why I encourage like master studies like this, and that's why I do like comic studies like this, because where I want to get good at is at making comics, and I can't get good at making comics if you're not studying comic book artists. That's just the reality of the situation. So yeah, it can be quite difficult at times, but you just have to go through it. And one way to have fun while doing that is just to go live. At least you're making content in the process of learning as well, so that you're kind of documenting your process of improvement, that kind of thing. Yeah, and that's something I encourage. It has helped me out a lot. I can't lie. Um, it's crazy how you knock out these studies. I can barely do one. Yeah, it does take a lot of time. I can't lie. It does take a lot of time. Usually, you just have to dedicate a time in your day. Um, it's not like it's anything special. It's just sacrifice, right? Like right now, there are a lot of things I could be doing, but I just chose to do this. And most times I'm very slow at the same time. Uh, but you get faster with each new one that you do. Um, yeah, you get faster with each new time you come back to do the drawings. You get faster and faster. You kind of understand the flow of things, and you get better. At least that's how I see it. And the thing is that I just draw all day. Like that's this is the only thing I have in my life that I do. So um, I don't go out. So like I don't have any other thing. Like so I just art is just all I do. The only thing is that like I do like work paintings for people. So basically my whole life is drawing. So you know apart from that I have a chicken business. So there's that. So that's the only things that like take my time. Poultry business, I mean, poultry business. I said chicken. Well, the only poultry I'm doing is chicken. So um, just broilers. I don't know why I started talking about chicken all of a sudden. Well, yeah, just sacrifice. Just decide to spend 2 hours, 3 hours improving every day, and then having a personal project. I strongly encourage that. You know, art is fun when you're doing your own thing. Like even though you're doing your own like personal, like I get very scared and anxious when because I need to work on my personal project every day because I just feel like I might just make it look wrong or awful. But that always like irregardless of how I feel like when I'm doing these my own personal projects, it's still something to look forward to because I am happy about it at the end of the day. So having a personal project like something you have like I have like my comic for instance comic book stories that I want to work on and things like that it just keeps you wanting to improve and wanting to get better. So in another person's case now what the person might want to do is you might have a portrait series you want to do and just having a project like that will just keep you motivated and have something that you can look forward to every single time. um, yeah, so I have a personal project and have uh, like improvements. What I say to document your improvement. You said sounds pretty simple to me. Simple, dedicated life. Don't need too much. Yeah, the truth is that like there's a lot going on, and life is short. There are not enough hours in a day, so you have to concentrate on like as few things as possible. Like when I was younger, I wanted to do animation, I wanted to do concept art, I wanted to do comics, all at the same time, right? And I just realized that like, and then I even wanted to do music, right? And then I realized that like I quite late in fact that you can't really do all these things. Life is pretty short. If you look at all the great people in the world in different industries, like you don't see them doing anything else really. They just focus on one area. And even then, even in that area, they focus on a particular thing in that area. They're not focused on multiple different things. Of course, they could have talents for all these different areas, but they just focus on one. Um, like if you're, uh, I don't know, like the example. The only example I have in my head is football. That's like soccer. I don't think um, you might know a lot about soccer, so I don't think I'll go there. But regardless, what I mean is that, like, for instance, like you might be skilled enough to do animation, like in terms of talent wise. You might have the talent to do animation, you might have the talent to be a comic book artist, a concept artist, a character design artist, all these different areas, right? But you won't really be a master at all of them most of the time. So you kind of have to just pick one and stick with it. Like I had to let go of animation. I had to let go of like let's say concept arts now. I had to let go of doing like, and I also had to say no to a lot of like commission works, a lot of projects. Like I have like I have to work. There are a lot of people that always like want to work with you on a new project or like a comic book story or something like that, or like a series or something like that. And usually, most times, you just have to, as much as you might want to work on all these things, it might not like just be the right time for you, because it takes a lot of commitment. And for me, if it's not something that has to do with me making money or cash that can really help me in terms of livelihood, it's a distraction. So there's only so much time in a day, and I'm not even caught up to all the things I want to do. So yeah, it's just sacrifice at the end of the day. uh, that's a really nice detail to add. All right, I think I'm done with this. Did I add all the blacks in the correct positions? Yeah, I think it's all right. Let me just fuse these guys together. Yeah, tomorrow I'll add more faces, probably like 3 or 4 more faces. Let me show you the portrait paintings I did. Yeah, thank you, Adam. Thank you. Let me just show you guys. Let me zoom in and show you guys. Um, yeah, I think let me let me show you guys the work. Yeah, that's it. I started that one yesterday. So then I did one, two, three, four. I did four today. I did remember four today. So yeah. Let me show you the portrait paintings I did a while ago. Um, so this was a portrait painting. I believe I worked on this towards the end of last year. It was just a simple painting of a man smoking. But then I liked the what's her name? I like Loish. I don't know if you know Loish. I like how she usually adds like fishes and stuff to her paintings. So I just decided to like adopt that, and it's something I usually put in my paintings a lot as well. So there was that, and then I did this painting. This painting was a challenge I did with my friend. So it was like me using my art style to do a painting that he did, a portrait painting that he did. Um, uh, Professional newbie said that drawing is spectacular. Thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Adam, you said, wow, that's really nice. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, so yeah, this art style, like the way I do my paintings is that I usually add like shapes on top of shapes whenever I paint. It's quite similar to the artist that I copied. Her name was Mavis Ruiz, and I really liked her art style, and I copied it. So and that is how I learned like paintings. I just simplified shapes, things like that. Um, but I did a lot of portraits. That was the idea. I did a lot of portraits, and with each portrait, it just got easier and easier and easier. And I would say the unique thing about my paintings is that like is the way I draw eyebrows. I do like have like a unique way of like drawing eyebrows. If there's anything like unique about the art, in particular. Professional noob, you said, "Wow, you're really good at making a nice glow." Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Adam, you said shapes layering. That's a cool technique. Yeah, yeah. And the way I developed it because I looked at an artist that had this kind of style of drawing. This was a sketch I did for a painting I wanted to do, but I never completed it. It was years ago. I don't know if I'll ever complete that work. Yeah, so when I'm doing like illustrations, I could easily simplify it like with simple shapes without necessarily needing to detail it, because I had gotten like better at like doing like portraits and things like that. Um, yeah. So that's how I worked, and that's how I had to. I did it almost every day. I drew like almost every day, but like sometimes it would take like 2 days for me to actually complete portraits, a portrait drawing, because most times like for works like this old man drawing, they do take longer, a bit longer. So they could take like 2 days actually complete um, actually complete. So this one is not actually black and white. I just put it in black and white because of I do like to check my values when I paint. So one way to do that is that you just put like a black layer on top of all the layers and then convert it to like color so that it can show black and white and to like check whether your values are solid enough. And that's how I work with like doing portraits rather, checking the values consistently and constantly. So despite the fact that the portrait paintings might be very vibrant, right, and like the colors might pop a lot, you still need to like check your black and white values. And especially like the background, I kept it white because the values on her face, like on her skin, of her skin, are much more darker. So the drawing is going to like pop out a lot. Um, Adam, you said I kind of prefer the black and white with this piece. Oh, or you mean this one, right? Or did you mean like the previous one I did? This what is she doing exactly? She's closing one eye, right? So like you can see, like I just use like this little small graphic shapes for like the eyebrows and the eye lines and things like that, and it really helped me um with like drawing expressions and things like that. uh you look at stuff like this, so it doesn't necessarily have to be always like clean and perfect. It just has to be okay. You mean the woman with the flower on her eye? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, that one is also cool. I really like the black and whites in that one. It's the same thing I did here. I do it for all my. So you're right about portraits. Like for portraits, you do need to get your values accurately. Your values have to be like really good. Otherwise, your portrait drawings are just going to not look good at all. And like with comics, the way I just apply values is that you just have to use hatching lines, since that's the medium. It, Yeah, I really liked the lowish idea with fish. So she has like I just added like a small swimmer person that is just floating around her in a bikini, and then the fishes around her like that. Um, you said, Adam, you said this is really cool. Kind of reminds me of the game Hades. Oh, I don't really know. To be honest, whenever people tell me about games, I don't know anything about games except it's FIFA. And even then, I don't play that like at all, especially these days. The only games I know are like Call of Duty and well, very few games in general. Uh, yeah, but like I saw the guy and I just wanted to add like a snake on his ear, and I wanted to add a butterfly. I really liked his pose and expressions. Pinterest has a lot of like poses and stuff. Yeah, I remember this one. This one took me a while. I wanted to add like rabbits around her. Maybe like she's watching like a cinema type of thing. Like add rabbits around her, like just jumping around her. Something a bit like creative like that, and then she's like smoking a pot or something. Yeah, I really like adding animals around people for some reason. I don't know, that style just kind of grew on me. Yeah, I do miss painting portraits a lot. I can't lie. Portrait paintings were like I had a lot of fun with all these paintings. I had a lot of fun with them. a lot. Here's the black and white. Yeah, yeah. I think that'll be it for now. I'll show the rest later. Maybe next stream, I'll show the rest of the paintings. Thanks Adam for showing up, and thank you professional noob for showing up again. I really appreciate you. Thanks for referring me to your friend as well. Thank you so much. And um, yeah, thanks Irene. I hope you are successful with your exams. Uh, I don't know how you're writing like all those papers in 2 days, by the way. So yeah, yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. Um, Adam, you said thanks for sharing your beautiful art. Thank you, man. Thanks for seeing them. Thank you. Um, thank you. Uh, yeah. Well, I didn't get that. You said professional noob. You said I don't know exactly why, but I prefer your what was that? Your layering style over a lot of other styles. Maybe it's because it looks partly sharp and without too many curves for the yeah. I like I tried painting. Let me show you. I tried painting like in the traditional styles where like there was just like gradients. These were my earlier paintings that I did like without like you can see this style is quite different. This art style, you can see the edges. The edges are not like they are not sharp. They are softer edges, right? But the paintings were good, but I just wasn't like really enjoying like painting like this, to be honest. Um, okay, okay, shape. Okay, you meant shape. I didn't enjoy like painting like this. They were okay, but they weren't like moving me. And then I searched like I then decided to adopt. This was where my art style, like this work, I really hated this work. I hated this painting a lot. I tried as much as possible to make it look good, but it just didn't come out the way I wanted it. And I think that was the last time I painted portrait like that. So the next painting I did, this was when I started using sharp edges to draw. Like I started using graphic shapes like triangles and squares and rhomboid shapes to actually do like my paintings. And then yeah, and ever since I did it, I really liked this work. And ever since I did it, like I started painting like that for a long time. I stopped using soft edges. I started using like sharp shapes to draw. Um, yeah, and that's like how I did like a lot of the paintings. I really like this one. um I really like this painting a lot. I like this painting so much. Yeah, so yeah, that's how I improved. Let me show you. I hope I still have some of her illustrations. But a lot of the, let me see. I hope I have some of her works because I deleted a lot of things, a lot of works. Yeah, these are yeah. This is her work. Yeah, so these are the artists that really inspired my art style. And maybe you could see some similarities with the way she does her paintings. This Maybis Ruiz. That is Meybisruiz. These ones are blurred because they're in the cloud. I don't know. You can see her style. Maybe you can notice some um, a professional newbie said it gives it a nice touch of life to the drawing. Yeah, it does. It does, man. It does. It does. It makes it much more expressive. Make the painting much more expressive. Like you see her paintings, you can see how she uses like sharp shapes and hard edges in comparison to soft edges. I can see, and the way she paints is just really it's just fun to look at. Like the artworks, the paintings are really fun, and like it just yeah, I just whenever I did a painting or a portrait that involved a character like this, like just front view, I'll just take her paintings, put it by my side, and I'll just be looking at it as they are being. I just break them down. Yeah, she's my favorite portrait artist. She worked on Intergalactic. I don't know if any of you know the 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 show. It's not a show. It's a movie. Um, she worked on Intergalactic and what else? Yeah, just Intergalactic. I don't know her in any other thing. Professional newbie said, "I see the similarities. Um, I see the similarities, but your art style still has its own touches." Yeah, yeah, I believe it does because, um, you copy from someone, you copy a painting from someone, and then you like how that person draws, but then you don't want it to look exactly like it. There may be something that she does or the artist does that it may not be your cup of tea. So, you know, you just make a different artistic decision, and just that change, just that twist in that preference might be the difference between your own art style and that of like any other artists in general. Just that simple decision. So this is some like character designs she did for Intergalactic, like character paintings. I really love her style, man. Like it's just so cool. Like it makes drawing portraits, like looking at her works made drawing portraits a lot more fun. It stopped being like tedious for me. And to an extent, I even wanted to adopt this art style in my comic, but I don't know. That might happen later in the future, but I don't know as of now. But her art style is just phenomenal, man. Just phenomenal. Yeah, so this is one of the main I took inspiration from two artists. One was what do they call him? Mazarat and what's the name? And maybe Ruiz. And those are the two guys. I'm just looking for Mazarat's work. Um, yeah, this is Mazarat. It's not clear. He has a bit of some nude pictures, so I don't want to show that on screen. It's not getting clear. I don't know why. It's probably because it's on the cloud. But you get the gist. His art style is pretty graphic as well. Like he just uses a lot of like simple shapes to define the edges. And despite how similar his art is, despite the fact he's still using hard edges, it's still different from maybe Rui's work and it's still different from mine. Um, so thanks to everyone that live streamed, that joined me. I really appreciate every single person. I appreciate all the new subscribers. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Professional noob, have a nice night, man. Have a nice day, and more success to your training as well. Bye.